He said there were two of these animals, not one. Two. And they were made of wood, because the Torah prohibited graven images. And their wings were stretched out wide, so that the wingtip of one was touching the wingtip of the other. Also, the Jews knew about Borak. And they knew that Borak had been used to transport others in the past. This was nothing new to them. Oh no. But now Nabi Muhammad alayhi salam is asked to mount on Borak, and a message is being sent to Banu Israel, that they would recognize that this is indeed a true prophet, because they know about this heavenly animal. It was there in the temple by Solomon. The Prophet ﷺ mounted Borak, and then Borak took off through the night. And we are told that as he was traversing through the night, at a speed that was so great that every step traversed the horizon of the earth, that he stopped several times. We will mention only two, because these are in Sahih Bukhari. That there was a caravan which had camped for the night, and Borak came down, and the people had left a container with water, and it was covered with a lid. And Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam got off Borak, removed the lid, drank the water, replaced the lid, and then Borak took off again. And then the second time Borak came down, and another caravan had camped for the night, and a camel had broken loose. And he called out to the people who were sleeping, "Wake up, wake up. Your camel has broken loose." And then Borak took off again. Sometime later, maybe 2-3 weeks, maybe a month, we don't know how long, this was confirmed. When the caravans arrived in Mecca, they confirmed, yes, this happened. That we went to sleep in the night and woke up in the morning and the vessel was empty, yet the cover was on the vessel. And yes, we did hear a voice calling out to us, "Wake up." And yes, a camel had indeed broken loose, and we searched and found the camel, confirming that this is an event which actually took place. Borak then arrived in Jerusalem, and Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam is greeted in the masjid, Masjid al-Aqsa, by all the prophets of Allah. But the historical evidence is that at this time there was no masjid yet. The historical evidence is that the Byzantine Christians who had taken over the city had destroyed everything, and they had consigned it to be a garbage bin, a garbage heap. And when the city was conquered sometime later, Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu himself participated in the effort of clearing away all the garbage, and then gave instructions that you must wait for 3 rainfalls so that the place can be washed clean before we again make it a place of worship. And so clearly, if he reaches Jerusalem and he is in the masjid, and in the masjid he is welcomed by all the prophets of Allah, there is more to this than our dimension of space and time. There is more to this than our dimension of space and time. After he has led the salat with all the prophets of Allah present, then he ascends on a heavenly ladder into the, not the heavens, no, into the samawat. Samawat is the plural of sama. And in Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala introduces us to the term. هُوَ الَّذِي خَلَقَ لَكُم مَّا فِي الْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا. He it is who has created for you all that is on the earth. ثُمَّ اسْتَوَى إِلَى السَّمَاءِ فَسَوَّاهُنَّ سَبْعَ سَمَوَاتٍ. We don't have Einstein with us here tonight. He then directed his attention to the sky. I don't know what other word to use, to the sky. And he fashioned it into 7 skies. I don't know what other word to use. Actually, it will be 7 worlds of space and time. And in Surah Al-Mulk, Allah speaks about them and He says, الَّذِي خَلَقَ سَبْعَ سَمَاوَاتٍ طِبَاقًا. He it is who has created 7 worlds of space and time alongside each other. And so Nabi Muhammad ﷺ enters into these different worlds of space and time. In the Quran, this is referred to in its totality as Al-Ghaib, the unseen world. One of the amazing characteristics of the age in which we now live, an age that Ambassador Adlan Rose has experienced very well as an ambassador, is that consciousness of Al-Ghaib and belief in Al-Ghaib as a matter of conviction is drifting away from mankind. And so more and more people are now imprisoned in the consciousness of this being the only world and this being the only life. And so no longer do people have any consciousness of the consequences of conduct in this world for the life which is to come. When we believe that this is the only world, that there is no reality beyond material reality, as most of those who graduate from universities today now believe, then that spells the end of the religious way of life. What remains is only an empty shell, and the heart of religion has disappeared. And so these 7 worlds of space and time are now going to be experienced by a human being. In English there is an expression, I don't know whether you have it in Bahasa. Seeing is believing. But you have in Bahasa. Ambassador? Seeing is believing. Huh? And so, a human being like us, إِنَّمَا أَنَا بَشَرٌ مِثْلُكُمْ You are a human being, and I am also a human being. Innama ana basharum mithlukum. You are human beings and I am a human being. That doesn't mean you're the same as me. No. There are some human beings who are worse than animals. And there are other human beings who have hearts, who can feel oppression. So, innama ana basharum mithlukum means you are human beings and I am a human being. And so a human being is taken to have a direct experience of the unseen world, which is the foundation of the religious way of life. And this is not an ordinary human being. For 40 years he lived amongst them. For 40 years they had a chance to observe him from the time he was a child. And all of Makkah agreed upon one thing, that this is a truthful man. And so they gave him the title Al-Amin, the truthful one, the trustworthy one. There are other people who, if they say the sun is shining, you have to go outside and look in the sky to see whether the sun is actually shining. They are the same ones who said they killed Osama bin Laden and threw his body in the sea, and then a big fish swallowed him. So this is someone who does not tell lies. Nabi Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam warned us 1400 years ago about CNN and Al Jazeera and so on. He said, in the last age there will be great liars, so beware. In the last age there will be great liars, so beware. And so Allah takes His servant, who has already established his credentials as a truthful person, takes him to a direct experience of that unseen world, and then to return and to say, this is what I saw with my own eyes. And since seeing is believing, and we believe that he is a truthful person, we believe in what he has said. As he traverses the Samawat, he is greeted by prophets of Allah. But they are dead. They are dead. Oh, we are being taught a lesson now. Don't say that because someone is dead, that is the end of him. Because Ibrahim alayhi salam is dead, but Ibrahim alayhi salam is there in the Samawat. And when he greets Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, he does not greet him the way the other prophets greet him. They say, welcome, my brother. But he says, welcome, my son. A dead man, but he's alive in another world. And so we send a message to those who today control power in the world, that this is not the last chapter of the book. There are other chapters to come. In a court where you cannot bribe a judge. There are other chapters to come where absolute justice is assured for everyone.